And you see, I'm sitting this side.
Colors are working together. You can always change to pink if you want me to.
So this is yours.
Okay.
So you notice that one of the signs says me, and one of the signs says her. With mummies, one of the sides says me, and the other side says him. I'm going to run through some questions, and you have to tell me who is most likely to be or do that thing. So first question, who is most likely to forget where you parked your car? Second question, who is most likely to forget a wallet or purse in a shop?
We don't do that.
Who's most likely to go skydiving one day?
Hey, skydiving. Certainly
like,
not me.
You don't like heights. I don't think I would like to do it either.
Yeah.
Who is most likely to go shopping for one thing and come back with everything but that thing?
You said her, and I said
It's you. Of course it's you.
You
course it's you. You will come up with the thing as well, but you come with everything else. You come up with the thing, but with everything else as well.
You.
But it said everything without the thing. I don't think we've ever done that. Everything else.
Who is most likely to choose a world tour as a holiday? Okay. Who is most likely to someday want to buy a yacht? Who is most likely to fall asleep during a movie?
Both of us.
I have to do this, and I have to do this as well. Okay.
Who is most likely to be a great photographer? Who is most likely to return food at a restaurant because it's too cold?
I've never done that.
I've never done it either. So it's a question that is difficult to answer. Emily would do that. Yeah.
Who is most likely to buy toys for the pet dogs?
Yes. They were grandchildren at one time, getting lots of pets.
Lastly, who is most likely to end up on Broadway?
Broadway. I don't know. Neither. I've never acted anything in my life.
Thank you so much. Tell us the story of how you met.
How we met? Well, I had just started at a new job at Sussex University, and I went along to a lunchtime Bible study, and I really went to ask about local churches, and they asked me what kind of church had I come from. So when I described it, they said, "Oh, then you should talk to John. I think his church is one that you would like to go to." And they said, "Oh, John will be along in a minute." And so I was waiting for John, and then they said, "Oh, here's John." And there you were. And I think that was the first time I ever saw you or met you.
That's right.
What were your first impressions of Mom when you saw her that day?
we had a good Bible study together. I thought she looked great, but it really got going when I was asked to follow her up by the leader of the Bible study group. That is when I really began to take notice of you and also discover all the beauty and the joy of having you near me. It was when I began to follow up in obedience to the leader's word of, can you go and check on this girl for us so you can bring her in for the next meeting.
What would you say was your first date with Dad?
Wow. Well, we met a lot, actually, because we were working in the same building. He was a couple of floors above me. So we first started to say, okay, we will meet before the Bible study. I think it was a lunchtime Bible study. So I'll come up a bit early and we would have either a cup of tea or some lunch together and then go to the Bible study. So we did that for a long time. And then we started doing it on extra days as well, not just the Bible study days. And but first date, I think we went out with another two friends. We went to Stanmore Park in Brighton.
That's right,
Yeah.
which is near the university, Stanmore Park.
We had a
Stanmore
lovely,
Park,
yeah,
or
we
Stanmore.
went Stanmore,
Yeah.
Stanmore Park, yes.
It was nice.
It was a lovely day.
Yeah, that's right. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
How did you know when things were getting serious?
Well, I think right from the beginning, I had a sense that this might well become my wife. But I think a moment came when I was about to leave the UK and go back to Ghana to do my fieldwork as part of my doctorate degree, and for 10 weeks. And I remember it was slightly difficult parting ways. And I heard you say, oh, what a shame, you're going to be going for 10 weeks. I thought, oh, why is she saying I'm going to be, why is this she saying it's going to be a shame? But when I went away, I really missed you, and I knew that things were pretty serious from there. Yeah.
I think it was a day where John said to me, could I ever come and would I ever go and live in another country? And I said, oh no. No, I don't think I could ever go and live in another country. But that afterwards I was thinking, why was he asking me? Does he want me to go and live in another country?
A bit obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Mom, can you describe how Dad proposed to you?
I think we had been talking about getting married, and you said to me, well, let's spend a day fasting and praying about it so that we could be sure, that we had God's go ahead. And it was New Year's Eve. And so I came round to your flat and we spent the day fasting and praying. And at the end of that day, you said to me, you asked me whether I'll be your wife. And
I remember that.
Yeah, and I'd just been waiting for that moment, so I said yes.
That was great, actually.
Yeah.
Dad, what was something unexpected that happened at your wedding day?
On the actual day, everything went according to plan, except that the guy who was going to preach and actually bless our wedding forgot his shirt. And he had traveled about an hour and a half's journey from Brighton to Chatham. And so we had to drive him, I have to take him in the car to the shopping mall in the middle of Chatham to get a new shirt. That was an interesting part before we actually started the whole ceremony.
Wonderful. What would you say was the most special part about your wedding day?
I was very pleased about the number of people who turned up, friends from the church who came to set up the whole PA system and music set up before the actual moment came. I thought it was special. So many friends came. They had to travel a long way to come and join us. And it was also special to see my wife emerge with her dad out of their car and then into the hall. And it was so nice to be able to receive her from the dad. That was special. Yeah.
Here's your
Oh,
album.
okay. That's my best man, actually. My best man and I. Yes, that's you and your dad here. Beautiful, beautiful. And your mom.
With a bridesmaid.
That's right. And you had a page boy as well. That's Timothy's
David, wasn't it?
Timothy's son. Yes, David. Timothy and Pearl.
Yeah.
And that's you, just on your own. Still going to be on your own after that. How about that? I must say you look like your mom there. Actually. Yeah.
Signing the register.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yes.
Peter was singing there.
Okay. I like that. They managed to get black and white photos and also color photos for us, which was interesting. That's my brother Emmanuel and another relative who came in from, I think, Maidenhead to join us. You and your 3 brothers there. Look at that. This is Emmanuel and Mercy. Was Mercy acting like my mom? Was Mercy in
Must
the
have
place
been.
of my mom?
Maybe.
Interesting. It just struck me when I was looking at it
Perception.
again. I didn't know at the time.
Wedding cake. Those are Auntie Christie's flowers.
We were having the reception in the garden, wasn't it? You have sort of weepy here.
No, I was laughing. I was laughing.
Eyes closed.
I was
That's good.
laughing.
Yeah.
What's one word, Mom, you use to describe the first couple of years of your marriage together?
Roller coaster.
I agree. Yeah.
Why do you say roller coaster?
Well, there were highs and lows. The highs were very high and the lows were very low. We had a lot of adjusting to do to each other. And in a short succession of time, major things were happening. I think you got your PhD, we had a baby, we emigrated
To Ghana.
to Ghana. Then I was trying to finish off my MPhil. You were starting a new job. There was so much going on, and you know, and then we were 2 very different people.
Yeah, I
To-
suppose we disagreed about virtually everything.
Everything that you could disagree about.
Yeah, whether it's the food, because it tends to be, you tend to like little things like sandwiches and salad, and I thought, what is that? It doesn't look like food to me. It didn't actually look like food to me, because I wanted something quite substantial, like banku or fufu or whatever. So that was difficult.
Was that we clashed a lot about food.
And then the colors, you know, whether we're going to paint a place, you would like more subtle colors and or non-colors, I think.
You liked everything symmetrical.
Exactly.
I
like,
really don't like things
I
to
like
be
to
symmetrical.
have a room, things arranged in a symmetrical order. So chairs should be like this, boxed away neatly. But interestingly, Alex always liked the things being disorganized. That's what I thought. Moved out of sync, out of symmetry. So that was interesting. Oh. So why did you like things like that? Things to be like this instead of like that?
I think symmetrical is too obvious,
Yes.
and it communicates lack of thought. You haven't really thought about this. You just put one here, one here, one here.
Okay.
So I like that. I like it to be. It's not just anyhow, but some thoughts about where you're placing things.
Interesting. I thought the real thinking is to get it all right.
you can laugh about today?
Oh, there are lots of those. Okay, I remember one time we were in England, we were married, and we were preparing to go to Ghana. And one day I said to you, okay, when you're in Ghana, where do you go on holiday? And you said to me, oh, we don't go on holiday.
That's right.
So I was so shocked. So I said, oh, but you have to go on holiday, and you were asking me why. So I said, well, because to have a break from what you're doing. And you said to me, don't you like what you're doing? And I said, yes, but sometimes I want a break.
Because the concept of holidays really,
And then you said,
it's not there.
you said, if you like what you're doing, why do you need to have a break from it? I said, oh, okay, well then, sometimes you just want to get away from people. And then you said to me, don't you like people?
Exactly. Why would you want to get away from them?
So I just felt like there's no meeting ground here. and I felt like we're never going to have a holiday. We're going to go to Ghana, and we are never going to have a holiday again.
It did seem like a death sentence.
Yes. But the funny thing is, now I think it's you who think more about holidays. You plan the holidays. You are saying,
organize it all.
yes, we ought to go on more holidays. And I'm saying, oh, no, let's just stay where we are.
So is it a case of growing towards each other and even going? That's right. That's interesting.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, Dad, can you touch on how you guys got through some of these challenges?
Well, I suppose that is where the rubber hits the road. I suppose we really had to learn how to depend on God. I, in particular, when we hit things like this, there obviously was nobody to turn to ask them for help. We were in the leadership position in the church, and so I would turn to God and ask Him for help, and reliably, God will speak to me and show me what to do. And it will be something like this. God will show me, for example, what we're arguing about, that this actually, I am the cause of it. Although up to that point, I would have been thinking, it must be her, it must be her, it must be her. I'll suddenly have revelation that I'm the cause. And so I'll go and apologize, and then that will be the end of it. I'll go apologize and say sorry, that will be the end of it. Sometimes, of course, God will show me that it's her, problem lies with her, but will give me some understanding about it that allows me to relate to the problem more easily. So I'll speak to her, she will say sorry, and then that will be the end of it. So we depended on God and His reliability in coming through and showing me the truth about all the situations that seem to look like so dark and almost insurmountable. Suddenly light will come through. So it's been like that, hasn't it? It's been more of God speaking, God showing me what is happening, and then we move forward. And if there is anything that I would say God has been amazing in helping us along the journey, it's actually helping in resolving these issues. He's been immensely faithful in that way.
Mom, would you say that the conflicts helped or served your marriage?
I think definitely every couple is going to have conflict, and we often think that is a sign that we've chosen the wrong person, but I think it's an inevitable part of God joining you together. He has to rub you up together, and He's using that painful rubbing to smoothen off our rough edges so that we can truly be joined together to form one flesh. So I think that the conflicts are instrumental in helping us know ourselves, identify what are the knobby bits on our character that God needs to work on, and if we cooperate with Him in the process, then I think that joining can really happen.
That's right.
Dad, what's your favorite thing about Mom?
Her smile is really lovely, and just her gentleness, her pleasant character, and I'm mentioning several now, aren't I? And her ever willingness to help and to serve me is really, really great.
I think he's totally and utterly reliable. He's a very faithful person. He's if you cut him, it's the same thing all the way through. There's no subterfuge about him at all. He's just a very, very good person and reliable, and I think it's because he is so serious about his relationship with God. He just takes that. That's number one for him, and it's a huge benefit to me and our family in terms of our relationships and how he steers and guides us all.
What are some major goals you and Mom have achieved as a couple?
I think the first one was actually organizing our wedding ceremony, which was great. We really planned towards it and worked towards it and implemented it. That was a beautiful moment which set us all off. And then I would say many things have happened since then. We have successfully raised 5 lovely children. We actually asked God to give us 5 children, didn't we? And He has given us 5 children, all beautiful, wonderful children whom we love so much. And that's, I would say, a massive achievement. We've also planned and set up a whole church, City of God, and out of that came many other churches that were at one moment in this country and 6 other West African nations. That was another thing. Then, of course, we also set up a school, which is all well known as New Nation School. We did that together as well, didn't we? Then subsequently, there is the whole marriage house movement. We have tried to help many married couples, and the whole thing grew out of that, where we provide help, counseling, and care for many young marriages and even more matured ones. So, can I think of other things as well?
The books you've written.
Oh, then I mustn't forget the books. After raising the children, the next set of children I would say were the books, wouldn't they? Because I would normally write the books, but we work together on them. You have been my editor, special editor over the years, reading through, making all the suggestions. Sometimes difficult to agree with you on some of the suggestions, but we work through that. And so we've written many books now. One of the most recent one is the Marriage House, which has been about marriage. Then we also did a whole book on Prepare, which is for marriage counseling. Now, one new one that is about to come out is about the marriage vows.
How have you kept the fun alive in a marriage over 30 years?
Wow. A lot of it has been fun, actually. How have we kept it? I don't think we've had to work at trying to keep anything. We just loved being with each other. But I think things like going out for walks in the evenings, walking around the block has been great. And also doing our exercises together, and also going out to restaurants to have meals. I keep taking her out, or she keeps taking me out. We just like going out together to have meals. And I think the other thing is we like meals and also having coffees together outside. So there's always been fun things to do. Can you think of anything more?
I think we like watching detective series together.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then we have lots of shared jokes that I think nobody else would understand. Really. Like shorthand ways of saying things because of all the memories that we have.
Yeah. Pleasant being with you.
Yeah.
Enjoying time together.
And I think because the family is quite big, and we have lots of birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, things to celebrate.
Yeah.
So there always seems to be a party going on.
Yeah.
What got better over the years?
I think we always had a strong relationship.
Yeah.
But I think what got better over the years was there was less, of the roller coaster aspect of it, and that's because we were gradually changing. I think we were both learning things about ourselves and learning things about each other. So we just got better at accommodating each other, I think, as time went on.
What got better over the years?
Everything. I think the first few years, as Alex said, were roller coaster, but after that 3 years, after 4 years, I think we had got to know each other better and also learned how to navigate the waters of marriage better. It became much, much more enjoyable as we went along.
How do you keep going as a couple through hard times?
Well, I think that some things need to be in place. First of all, make sure some things need in place before you hit the hard times. The first one is that you've got to have good foundations. And I'll mention setting up your marriage the way God wanted it. So one man, one woman in the same house, sharing the same house, and not living apart for extended periods like that. You need to have the infrastructure in place. And then you've got to have faith, because marriage is an ongoing project. And you've got to believe that the God who brought you together is with you and will help you in whatever situation that you find yourself in. So when you hit hard times in marriage, I found that we've turned to our God again and again, whether it is to do with health issues with our children, sometimes crisis issues, whether it's going to be financial issues. We just found that turning to our God in humility and asking Him, He always answered, didn't He? So it's getting the infrastructure right and faith and trust in your God. And I also want to mention that one needs to be very truthful with each other. You have to build on truth. And so we live truthfully with each other. There isn't anything that we do that is hidden from each other. Transparency is completely right through and through. And so in moments like that, when you hit difficulties, you minimize the areas where a darkness can come in and destroy you. So I think faith is important, trust, and living transparently with each other. And I think these have been very key in helping us surmount difficult times as we have traveled over these 30 years.
Mom, if you could tell us your number one piece of advice for a successful marriage.
My number one piece of advice for a successful marriage would be to realize that you don't know it all, but there is someone who knows it all. That is God, who invented marriage. He has a blueprint. And so my advice would be find out what this blueprint is and build your marriage according to that, because it's a blueprint for success. And anybody who lines up their marriage or fits into this blueprint, it is designed not to harm you, but to give you the best of what marriage has to offer. So that's I think, find out what God says about marriage and do it that way.
What do you hope for in your marriage in the next 30 years?
Well, at home we are expecting to celebrate some weddings. Our 5 children, we hope they will all be getting married. So we will have the marriage, our single marriage, our marriage becomes 5 different marriages, which will be great. And then, of course, we're looking forward to the grandchildren, aren't we?
Yes.
That they will start coming in and we'll start to try to remember their names and everything. I think also looking forward to creating more books. I got so many books that I'm working on, and I'd like to be able to work together again and bring them all out as a blessing to the nations. Many more books coming out. I want to see many more churches planted as well. So yeah, traveling around and doing that. But we also want to make time to take plenty of rest, doing more holidays. Now you can do you can do holidays in Ghana, I can assure you. I want to see many more times of relaxation as well.
And Mom, the next 30 years, anything you want to add?
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing the family grow, as you were saying, the children getting married and having their own children. And I'm really looking forward to that, actually. Then I hope God will just continue to give us energy because we've got so many more things that we want to do. I think particularly with the books, it's not easy to bring a book out.
Oh, identify with that.
Yeah, so I would just asking God for grace to bring the books out. And I love working on book projects, actually.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'd like to do a lot more of that. And then I'm fully in agreement about the holidays. Yes, more of those.
You wouldn't say no to that,
No,
would you?
not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of that.